This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What time do you have to start the process of getting the kiddos to bed before they actually fall asleep?
Oh, Jimmy, let me tell you, I can remember when we put the kids to bed when they were little, you would go put them to bed and you go and watch TV, and then you hear the little pitter patter of the feet coming down the hallway, and it's a game you play over and over and over again.
Happens all the time. A lot of times we as parents wear ourselves out just trying to get the kids to fall asleep. And once they finally drifted off in la la land, you never know when, in the middle of the night, you're going to hear that door open. Mom, Dad, I can't sleep, I'm scared.
I'm scared. Well, researchers with the National Sleep Foundation found that more than 2 out of every 3 children ages 10 and under have experienced some type of sleep problem.
Scientists say lack of sleep can lead to more daytime behavioral problems in children. It can also result in bad grades in subjects like math, reading, and writing. Studies have shown that children who have insufficient sleep can have more depressive symptoms and anxiety disorders. So, today, as part of our week-long focus on the importance of sleep, we're helping our kids get a better night's rest, which may end up helping you too.
And there are a number of reasons why some kids have a hard time sleeping. So joining us today to help us sort it all out is sleep technologist Alicia Tolbert with Peninsula Sleep Waves at Peninsula Regional Medical Center. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon.
So we have been talking all week about how important sleep is for adults, but that goes for children as well.
Yes, it is. It's mainly important for restoration of the body, the mind, cognitive thinking, memory.
All these things come together just from sleep. Now, we just heard the numbers. A lot of kids are not getting enough sleep. It's something called restorative sleep.
Yeah, I mean, these kids are going to bed normally now later, getting up earlier due to sports, activities, things like that, and it's just, they're just tired. They're extremely tired throughout the day.
Our kids are definitely busier these days. Now, can kids get a sleep disorder? Can they have one?
They can. They can have obstructive sleep apnea, which is where you stop breathing in your sleep, just like adults. The signs are snoring, gasping, choking, you know, urinating in their sleep.
There's been some people say that sometimes ADHD gets confused with sleep problems.
Yes, most commonly the term they use is running on a motor. You know, these kids are tired, so they try to keep themselves stimulated throughout the day to stay up, and they think these kids are a problem because they're just acting out.
Wow. Now, what can cause a child to have difficulty sleeping?
There's several things. I think technology is one of the biggest. You know, anything with a screen. These kids nowadays are on cell phones even as young as 4. Yeah. You know, iPads, things like that, and light is a stimulant. So when they're looking at that throughout the night, that's keeping them awake. The body doesn't produce the melatonin and helps them, you know, it doesn't help them sleep.
And there's even separation anxiety, because I know our kids would crawl into bed with us.
Yep,
you know, they want to be
still
with
do,
us.
Yeah. And sometimes that's hard, but you just have to be really consistent and try to keep them in their own space. You know, for you and the child, it's healthier.
You know, I can remember quite clearly Zachary having nightmares, and I understand there's nightmares and night terrors. Explain what's going on with the nightmares. What causes those?
Nightmares are more caused by anxiety or fear, and sometimes unknown. And the kids will remember them. They'll be able to tell you about them, and normally you can just console them. Okay. You know, assure them that everything's okay. Try to get them back to sleep, but try to keep them in their own bed. You know, try to stay away from putting them in your bed.
Are they going to grow out of this?
They will. They will. Typically around like age 12, you see it start to taper off.
Okay, so you got nightmares and you got night terrors.
Yeah, night terrors are very scary. More scary for the parent. The child really doesn't even know what's going on. A lot of times if you just leave them alone, you know, trying to console them can even cause more problems. You just watch them, make sure they're safe, and direct them back to bed. Nightmares, they will be, you know, able to tell you about them. Night terrors, they won't be able to tell you about them. They'll sometimes wake up confused and drift right back to sleep. And they do, with nightmares, of course, they'll wake up, make eye contact. Night terrors, they do not. Oh. They're kind of staring off into space.
And they usually don't remember it.
No, not at all.
Okay, so what advice would you give to parents who are struggling with that bedtime thing, playing the game where they're going to bed and getting back up?
Wow, well, the biggest thing is just to create a good routine, a good bedtime routine. Start an hour ahead of time and just really try to create the no screens, you know, bedtime bath, story, and just really have some dim light and quiet activity.
Can we play music for them?
You can play music, but try to make sure that you turn that off. It doesn't play all night, because that can stimulate them in the background, the changing of the tune.
And prepare early too, right?
Yes.
About an hour ahead of time?
And make it a positive thing. You know, don't make bedtime a punishment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough sometimes.
It
But
is.
it's
It
important.
is. Yes.
Thank you so much, Alicia,
Thank
for tuning
you.
in. Great information
Yes.
on this.
And if you'd like to read more from PRMC about how to get a better night's rest, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab.
Okay, so while we're talking about your kids, parents and grandparents, the rules have changed when it comes to dental care and fluoride for your young children. What the experts are now recommending, plus we're going to find out what prompted the change.
And how would you like to get dressed up for a night out on the town and only have to pay a fraction of the cost for your dress? We'll learn more about how your sister's closet works and how it all benefits a great cause.
I know my dresses have always been too expensive. Speaking of great, you've got to see what we're making in the kitchen today. The chef from Irish Eyes is here to whip up some fabulous food. Delmarva Life will be right back.